I told you to leave me alone. So give me some space, Bug-Eye. Your breath smells like bantha poodoo. Who you calling little girl, Chuba Face? Just a sec, boys. Zalbar, a little help here? I need you to rip the legs off some insects. Quit complaining. You can finish eating later. Besides, you need the exercise, so get over here. You got a problem with me? Then you got a problem with Big Z. So unless you want to take on my furry friend, I suggest you greenies hop on out of here. Say, I don't recognize you, and I know pretty much everyone in the lower city. You must be new down here. I guess that makes me and Big Z your official welcoming committee. It's not that strange. Most aliens can speak basic. They just prefer to use their own language. But I grew up here on Terrace, so I just sort of got used to speaking the native tongue. My name's Mission Vao, and this big Wookiee is my best friend Zalbar. I'd offer to give you a tour, but the streets down here aren't safe. But if there's anything else you need, the Black Vulcar base? You'll never get in there. They attack on sight. But if you got a problem with the Vulcars, you should go speak to the Hidden Becks. Their base is open to anyone. I hang out there all the time. Gadden, the leader of the Hidden Becks, is a pretty good guy. He'll probably be able to help you out. Yeah, we should be going now, too. Come on, Zalbar. This dive is boring. Maybe we can find some action in the Undercity. Well, you came to the right person. If you want info on Lower Terrace, I'm the one to talk to. Davik, the Lower City gangs. I even got the scoop on that bounty hunter, Calo Nord. We just kind of fell in together. It ain't easy on your own here in the Lower City. Everyone's always looking to push you around.
So we noticed. Still, you seem like an odd pair.
When I met up with Zalbar, it seemed like a pretty good match. I knew we could look out for each other. With my street smarts and his muscle, we make a great team. Davik's part of the Intergalactic Crime Syndicate, but I guess everyone knows that. But I hear he's got a new ship for his smuggling operations, the Ebon Hawk. I don't know much about space travel, but I hear that ship's fast enough to break the Sith blockade. Of course, this is all just secondhand rumor.
Where would he keep it, do you know?
If Davik does have a ship, he's got it locked up in his estate. Nobody gets in there, except the people working for Davik and the Exchange. There's only 2 gangs worth worrying about here in the Lower City, the Black Vulcars and the Hidden Becks. Sometimes Zalbar and I hang out at the Beck base. The Becks are led by Gadden Thek. He's a good guy. Lost his sight in a swoop bike accident a few years ago, but even blind, he's a great leader. Not like that traitor Brezhik. Before he took over the Vulcars, he was a Hidden Beck. Gadden considered that ungrateful space slug his adopted son. When Gadden went blind, everyone figured he'd step down and appoint Brezhik in his place. But Gadden figured Brezhik wasn't ready yet. He wanted him to wait a few years. But Brezhik was too impatient. He left to join the Vulcars, and ever since, he's been waging a war to wipe Gadden and his Becks from the face of Terrace. This gang war in the Lower City is totally the Vulcars' fault. They're the ones killing everything that moves out on the street. It's like they've gone insane. Calo Nord's one of the most famous bounty hunters in the galaxy. He's killed more people than the Iridian Plague. I've seen him kill people just for trying to talk to him. He hangs around Zach's bounty office, but I don't think he's looking for work there. All the postings there are small time. Way beneath a bounty hunter of his caliber. I figure Calo's been hired by Davik to do a special job for the Exchange. I'd wager 1,000 credits that as soon as the quarantine ends, he'll be getting off this rock. You going? Yeah, this dive is pretty boring. No action around here. Come on, Big Z, let's go. Can't you think about something besides your stomach for 5 minutes? Come on. We'll go see if there's anything good to eat at the Beck base. Hey, relax, Big Z. No need to be rude. Sorry about that. But Wookiees ain't much for conversation, you know? Please, you have to help me. Nobody else is going to help me. Even the Becks won't help me. But I can't just leave him there. He's my friend. You'll help me, won't you? It's Zalbar. He's in trouble. Big trouble. We have to help him. If we don't, they'll sell him into slavery. Me and Zalbar, we were just wandering around here in the Undercity. You know, looking for stuff we could find, just kind of exploring. We do it all the time. Only this time, they were waiting for us. Gamorrean slave hunters. We didn't even have a chance to run. Big Z threw himself at him and then roared for me to run. I took off. I figured Zalbar would be right behind me. But there were too many of them. He couldn't get away. They're going to sell him to a slaver, I just know it. I don't know for sure, but those Gamorreans like to hang out in the sewers. The stink reminds them of home, I guess. That's probably where they took Big Z. I didn't mean to leave him. I thought he was right behind me. I'd never abandon Big Z on purpose. Please, help me get him back. No way. I'm the one that got Zalbar into this mess, so I'm coming with you. I'm not going to abandon him again. Listen, my friend Zalbar is in serious trouble, so you can forget about me helping with anything else until I get him back. Gadden? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Please, Zalbar's in trouble. He needs our help or they're going to sell him into slavery. I can't ask Gadden. He's always telling me not to go into the Undercity. He says it's too dangerous with the rat ghouls and Gamorreans and all. He'll never send his Becks down there. Please, there's nobody else who can help me. Listen, if you help me get Zalbar back, I'll help you get inside the Volker base. Come on, what do you say? How can you be so stubborn? When you're ready to help me with Zalbar, come on back, because you'll never get into that Volker base without my help. You're back. Does this mean you're going to help me now? Does this mean you're going to help me get Zalbar back? It's a deal. As soon as we get Big Z back, I'll show you a way into that Volker base. Now come on! We have to find Zalbar before they sell him to slavers, or worse.
Do you know where he's being kept?
The Gamorreans make their camps in the sewers. I bet that's where we'll find Zalbar. And that's where I'll show you the secret entrance into the Volker compound. You won't be able to get that computer to lower the energy fields unless you know the proper codes. Lucky for you, I've got them. I picked them off the pocket of a black Volker who had a little too much to drink in the cantina one night. Here, let me get that energy field down for you. That energy shield leads to another section of the sewers. The entrance to the Volker base is somewhere past there. I've got the codes to lower the shield, but we have to rescue Zalbar from those Gamorrean slavers. Don't worry, we can come back after we find Big Z. You won't be able to get that computer to lower the energy field unless you know the proper codes. Lucky for you, I've got them. Look at this. This is one of those old-style manual locks. No computer codes or nothing. The sewers is the only place you'd see one of these on Terrace. You can't use conventional security spikes on these old locks. But don't worry. I've come across them before. I've rigged up a little device that should do the trick. I'm glad to see you too, Big Z. You didn't think I'd forget about you. Mission and Zalbar, together forever. These are my new friends, Big Z. Without them, I could never have got you out. A life debt? Are you sure about that, Big Z? Think about it carefully. You better be sure about this. Big Z swearing a Wookiee life debt to you? Wow, this is major. Do you realize what it means? A life debt is the most solemn vow a Wookiee can make. It means he'll stay by your side for the rest of your life. Wherever you go, whatever you do, Zalbar will be with you. I guess this means you're stuck with me, too. Wherever Big Z goes, I'm going. I almost lost him once. It's not going to happen again. So, I guess I still owe you one secret path into the Volker base. That was the deal, wasn't it? Don't worry. I know a back door into that scum den. I better come with you. The Volkers put up a force shield to keep the sewer dwellers out. I'm one of the only non-Volkers on Terrace who can get you past it. I can't remember exactly how to get there, but I know it was somewhere here in the sewers. Over to the northeast, if I remember right. I just hope the rancor monster isn't still there. There used to be a rancor monster that made its nest in that part of the sewers. Pretty much eats anything it can get its claws on. That thing is huge! Luckily, rancors aren't too bright. I was able to sneak past it before, so I'm sure we'll figure something out. That is, unless you want to change your mind. Okay then, off we go. Like I said, somewhere to the southeast. Just look for the force shield, and we'll know we're there. You did a good job mopping up those Gamorreans, but I don't think you want to take on a rancor. Those things are huge. Hey, don't underestimate me. I may be young, but I'm quick and plenty smart. You just give me a chance and you'll be surprised at how useful I can be. Sorry, but there's not much you can do about it. Zalbar's already sworn the life debt, and it's not something they can just take back. This is a sacred, irreversible vow. Hey, don't make fun of the life debt. This is serious business, you know. Hey, Zalbar's not your slave. He just swore a life debt to you. It's not the same thing. Hey, Karth, you're a pilot for the Republic, right? You've been all over the galaxy, I bet, right? So tell me, how would you rate Taurus compared to other worlds you've seen?
To be honest, Mission, Terrace would rate pretty low. The prejudice, the rich spoiling themselves while the poor are crushed beneath them, it's not a pretty picture.
Yeah, but that's only since the Sith occupation. Before that, well, I guess it wasn't all that different, really. Maybe Taurus ain't as great as I thought, you know?
Trust me, Mission, there are a lot of worlds better than Terrace. There are worse, too, but Terrace is no place for a kid to live on her own. Even a kid who's got a Wookiee to look out for.
Hey, I ain't no kid. I look out for Zalbar as much as he looks out for me. Big Z's my friend, not my babysitter. Geez, I come ask you a question, you give me a lecture.
Don't you snap at me, Missy. You want a lecture? How's this? Only bratty little children fly off the handle because of a simple comment.
I don't have to listen to you, Karth. You ain't my father, though you're sure old enough to be. So keep your lectures inside your withered old head, 'cause I don't need 'em.
And I sure as hell don't need this. Look, let's just drop it and get back to what we were doing.
Hey, Karth, can I talk to you for a second?
Are you ready to have a civil chat? Or is this going to be another childish tantrum?
Tantrum? I'm trying to apologize, you nerf herder. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get mad at you. It's just that I'm sick of everyone treating me like I'm a helpless kid.
Yeah, I know. And I'm sorry about what I said, too. I'm just a little on edge lately. Not surprising considering all we've been through, but I shouldn't take it out on you. Mission, you have to know that we don't think you're helpless. I mean, look where we are. Look at what we're doing. You're not just along for the ride. We need you.
You really mean it, don't you? Nobody's ever said anything like that to me before. Not even Big Z. He might think it, but he's not really one for words, you know. Thanks, Karth.
Well, it's no big deal. I know how it is. Sometimes you just need to hear a few words of encouragement. Kids are like that.
Kids are like that? Listen, you... Oh, I get it. Okay, you got me. You're pretty funny, Karth, for an old guy. Come on, geezer. Let's get back to what we were doing.
I see you share the opinions of many on this world, that aliens are useful as servants and slaves. But I am here to tell you this is not so. Aliens deserve only death.
Do we have to stand here and listen to this space slug? He's starting to get on my nerves, you know?
Silence, alien scum! The presence of your kind is tolerated here on Taris, but a change is coming.
Hear that, laser brain? Sell it somewhere else, 'cause we ain't buying.
You are like all the rest. You will not see the truth. On the day of reckoning, you will suffer with the rest of the alien lovers.
What a rail slug. Give Big Z 5 minutes alone with that guy and he'd straighten him out. Or maybe twist him like a Teresian Zelenut.
Yes, my fellow human, you have seen the light. Gorton Koglu has marked your face. I will remember you when the time to destroy the aliens and the alien lovers is upon us. For now, stay vigilant. Be ready. Trust no one. I will find you when the day of reckoning is upon us, and together we will rid beautiful Taris of these alien species.
You may think it's okay to joke about killing aliens to string Gorton along, but I don't think that kind of thing is funny at all.
Get out of here, you goggle-eyed freak! You're too ugly for the upper city.
Yeah, go back to where you came from. We don't want your kind up here.
Yeah, why would a human want to help you, freak?
Hey, you aren't going to just let him keep hurting him, are ya?
You're a freak, too. Why don't you get out of here, you freaks?
You want me to come over there and kick your little butts? Oh, that's it. Now you're in for it.
Oh, run for it!
I do not lose at Pazak very often, but you've made a habit of beating me. I think it is obvious what that means. You cheat. I have not been able to figure out how, but I know you're cheating. I'm simply too good to lose this often, and I refuse to play Pazak with a cheater.
Jeez, what a sore loser. I haven't seen this much whining since I gave Zalbar a bath. Breshik stole that engine from Gadden. It was never yours to begin with.
No, Yumakun. Tong hait wa magia kinkotun bek mulira. Chuna mulira tong king bano kunek lorcha.
What? You can't betray Gadden. I won't let you. No, that's not true. You're lying. They said I was too young. Well, yeah, some of them were, but you Folkers have tried to kill me more than once. But Gadden said Breshik... You're right. I don't need anyone but Zalbar. If Gadden dies, he's only getting what's coming to him.
Huh? What? Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. My attention was kind of focused on the Twi'lek dancers. Look at them waggle those head tails.
Ugh, what a pig. He even makes Gamorreans look classy.
Don't worry, honey. Alien girls aren't really my thing. I'm much more interested in an attractive female of my own species. I can't let her get away with what she did. That wench tried to cut me with her vibro blade. Because she's crazy. She started screaming that I was making advances, and the next thing I know, she's coming at me with a knife.
Yeah, sure. You were as innocent as a Jawa in a droid chop shop.
I admit I was drunk. Maybe I got a little fresh. But it was no big deal. She didn't have to cut me.
You come from the world above. Is this the time of destiny, then? Is this a portent of the salvation of my people? or merely another false sign to mislead us from the path? Are you the herald of prophecy, the beacon to guide us through the darkness? Or are you merely another harbinger of shattered dreams and unfulfilled promises?
Watch yourself. This guy's star chart is missing a few galaxies, if you know what I mean.
The rebellion was crushed in the end. Thousands were taken prisoner. The jails could not hold them all, and so the practice of banishing all prisoners to the Undercity was born. Many brave men and women were banished here to the Undercity for their part in the rebellion. People like my father and grandfather were cast down, along with their families.
What did you expect? If they could get away with it, the Teresian nobles would stuff their own mothers down here to make more room in the upper city.
I'm sorry Gadden can't be here to thank you in person, but he's retired to the safety of his private chambers. I'm afraid he's grieving over Brezhik's death. Even so, I think Gadden hoped that somehow Brezhik could be made to realize the error of his ways. Despite everything he had done, Gadden probably would have forgiven him.
Gadden always was too soft on Brezhik. I just wish I'd been there when that scum got what was coming to him. Huh? Oh, sorry. I was thinking about Terrace. I still can't believe it's gone. I mean, I grew up there and now it's just gone. Yeah, I know. The Jedi got rid of Revan, so I figure Malik's days are numbered too. But that doesn't make the pain go away, you know? I don't really think there's anything you can say. I just have to find some way to deal with it, I guess. It'll take some time. What? How can you be so cruel? Millions of people dead and all you can say is get over it? Look, I'm not saying I can't go on or anything like that. It's a shock, you know? I mean, I knew the Sith were evil and all, but the reality of it kind of slaps you in the face. But I suppose that's why we need to stop Malik, right? The more time I spend dwelling on Terrace, the more chance some other planet will get wiped out. I guess that's what it comes down to. So don't worry about me. I'll be okay. And if you need my help against Malik or the Sith, I'll be there for you.
Welcome to the slave quarters, mistress. Here we have succulent fruits and berries to tempt your palate, as well as luxurious baths to soothe your aches and pains.
Wow, this guy's gorgeous. Davik sure knows how to pick 'em. He makes a good case. It's not like you'd be stealing or killing anyone or anything.
Proof? How dare you talk to me about proof? I have more than enough to satisfy any reasonable person. Until you find Shen, Jedi, we have nothing further to discuss. I suggest you hurry south to their estate, lest I take matters into my own hands.
This guy's a real pain. It wouldn't surprise me if Shen ran off just to get away from his father.
Master Matali is grateful for the return of Shen. He has sealed the estate and cannot see you, however. Please, move along.
Figures. We get his son back for him, and now the stuck-up estate owner won't have anything to do with us.
When I left, Quattro knew her work with me was done. There are other disciples who need training throughout the galaxy, and she could not stay to see if I passed this most difficult trial. With your help, I have passed this difficult trial. The Council now feels I am ready to continue with my training, though they have asked me to wait here for the time being.
Hey, I'm glad to see you're not getting hung up on all this. The past is in the past, you know?
First the Jedi trick you into becoming an enemy, then they welcome you back as a friend. I can't say I approve of their training methods.
Giving you a second chance like this is a clear sign of weakness. Sometimes I find it hard to believe the Jedi could defeat my people in battle.
Quattra's methods may seem strange, but I trust her wisdom. This lesson has been difficult, but I am better because of it. Humility is never easy to teach, but now I truly understand my own limitations.
Hey, Bastila, you ever use the Force just for fun? You know, a little jolt to the Force to trip up some jerk who's ticking you off?
I would never use the Force for such petty and trivial revenge. The mere thought of it's preposterous.
Aw, come on. There's gotta be times when you've thought about it. Don't be so stuck up. You can tell me.
I am not stuck up. I merely have the years of training to give me the wisdom and understanding to see how childish such an act would be.
Childish? Is that a crack about my age? You ain't much older than me, Miss High and Mighty. Just 'cause you're some Jedi doesn't mean you can be a prissy little... What the... Hey, that wasn't funny.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mission. Come now, we have to get going. Please, do try to be less clumsy in the future.
Hey there, what can I do for you? Terrace is a pretty good place to grow up, all things considered. Just stick to the area you belong in and stay out of Davik's business, and you'll be fine. The upper city's got some nice shops and all, but it's boring. The only time I go up there is if I need free healing from Zelka at his medical facility. What can I say? The lower city was a great place to hang out until the Volkers started that gang war. Now you can't even walk the streets without getting shot at. It can be pretty nasty down there. You've got rat ghouls crawling around looking for their next meal, and the Gamorrean slavers like to set up their bases in the sewers. And then there's the Outcast Village, a collection of people banished to the Undercity for their crimes. I mostly avoid the village, though. It's pretty depressing to see how they live. I tend to keep my nose out of an intergalactic crime lord's business, you know? I can't tell you much that isn't common knowledge. Extortion, slavery, smuggling. Davik's got a piece of all the action here on Terrace. Even the swoop gangs know better than to get in his way. Hey, no problem. I'm here to help, right? I'm not the one you should ask about Dantooine. I didn't even know there was a Jedi Academy here. I always thought it was just a bunch of settlers and farmers. Sorry I can't be more help, you know? Is there anything else I can do for you? Well, I know Zalbar's from Kashyyyk, but he never liked to talk about it. He wouldn't even tell me why he left. I don't think the Wookiees like outsiders much. I don't know anything about Korriban, but I get a bad feeling in this place. If there's such a thing as an evil planet, this is it. I always heard Tatooine was nothing but a rock covered by a bunch of worthless sand. I can't even figure out why Zerka Corp set up their mining operations here. Manon's the source for all the Kolto in the galaxy. That's why those fish-faced Selkath can stay neutral in this whole Sith Republic war. But I don't know much else about this place. How am I supposed to know anything about this planet? It's an uncharted world in an unexplored quadrant. I didn't even know this planet was here. Didn't you come back here when you were the Dark Lord? If you don't remember anything about this place, then I guess we're just stumbling in the dark. Want to practice your skills, eh? Sure, I'll play a few hands. Just for practice, though. I don't want to bet with you. No problem. Just so happens I've got one here I've been working on. Here you go. I'll just add it to our inventory. Anything else you need? Sorry, I don't have one handy right now. Besides, we've got plenty of security spikes already. Not much point in overloading on them, is there? Really? You want to know about me? Nobody's ever really been interested in me before. What do you want to know? Big Z's my family, you know? My parents, well, I guess they're dead. It was just me on my own until the day I saw Zalbar in the lower city. I could tell right away he was in trouble. This was before the gang wars were out of hand. But even then, the Volkers were scum. A few of them were hassling Big Z, trying to pick a fight, but he wasn't looking for trouble. Hey, nobody said the Volkers were smart, but there were 3 of them, so maybe they figured they could handle him. I don't know. Anyway, I don't like the Volkers at the best of times, and when I saw them picking on this poor Wookiee, all alone on a strange planet, overwhelmed by the big city, I just lost it. I screamed out, "Leave him alone, you core slimes!" and charged right at them. Well, one of them saw me coming and slapped me so hard he just about knocked me cold. Hey, I don't need a lecture from you. You ain't my mother. I knew what I was doing. Hey, don't treat me like I'm a little girl. I ain't no kid. I'm 14 years old. Those Volkers didn't scare me. They're nothing but cowards. I knew how to deal with them. Of course, I never got the chance. I guess Zalbar didn't like seeing me get smacked around. He let out this howl and yanked that Volker a meter up off the ground and held him there by his throat. The other 2 screamed and ran off. Can't say I blame them. The first time you see an angry Wookiee up close, it isn't a pretty sight. I thought Zalbar was going to rip that punk's arms off and beat him to death with his own fists. The Volker was so scared, he fainted. Or maybe it was Big Z's breath just knocked him out. Sorry, Zalbar, but I keep telling you to brush those choppers once in a while. Why do you think I won't stand downwind when you're talking? I keep telling Zalbar to brush those choppers of his, but he never listens. Just stay upwind when he's speaking and you'll be fine. Anyway, I knew those Volkers would be back with friends, so I grabbed Zalbar and we took off. Ever since then, we've been a team. We look out for each other, you know? He was fleeing some kind of trouble back on Kashyyyk. That's all I know, really. Big Z doesn't like to talk about it. In case you didn't notice, he's the strong, silent type. Doesn't much matter to me, though. I accept him for what he is, not what he was. Me and Zalbar like to live in the present. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? You think I can't take care of myself? I've got street smarts. I know how to get by on my own. In fact, I look out for Zalbar more than he looks out for me, you know. Big Z's a little bit too gullible to make it alone on the mean streets of the lower city. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Like I used to tell my brother, fast talk and slick words don't get the job done. Are you kidding? Big Z ain't like that. He's just a big old softy inside. Of course, the Volkers didn't know that. Fine. I won't tell you how Zalbar and I hooked up. Sheesh. First you ask about it and then you say you don't want to hear it? You're as bad as my brother used to be. My brother's a touchy subject, you know. It just so happens I don't really feel like talking about him right now. Nothing personal. Let's just get back to the business at hand, okay? Shouldn't we be more worried about getting Zalbar back from those Wookiees? I don't trust that Chundar character. I was a little snappish when we last talked. I'm sorry about that. I get a little touchy when it comes to Griff. It's kind of embarrassing telling people about him. It's complicated. Griff wasn't the most popular guy. He had his faults. But I still loved him, you know? Sometimes people don't understand. I never knew my parents. My brother always looked out for me. He's the one who brought me here to Taurus. I was just a kid, only 5. But I remember the trip, if you could call it that. We were stuffed inside a packing crate in a starfighter's cargo hold with just enough food and water to make the trip. Not exactly first class, you know? I don't know the whole story. I was pretty young, but my brother owed a lot of money. Might even have been a few arrest warrants out for him, I don't know. The only way to get off the planet was to smuggle ourselves out. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like we were criminals. Well, maybe my brother was. See, this is why I don't like to talk about it. It makes Griff sound worse than he really was. My brother had his problems, but he always looked out for me. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Without my brother, I don't know where I'd be. He gambled and drank, and he was always borrowing money for his latest get-rich-quick scheme. But he had a good heart, you know? He taught me how to survive, showed me how to slice into a computer security system, how to get inside a locked building without the entrance codes, and how to spot a wealthy mark for a quick shell game. Hey, you don't know what it's like. You need those skills here in the lower city. Griff did right by me. I really miss him since he left. I keep hoping he'll come back someday. He promised me he would. He fell in with a bad crowd. It's all Lena's fault. She's the one who took him from me. Just batted those long lashes at him and off he went. I don't want to talk about Griff and Lena. Just the thought of that space tramp makes my blood boil. Subject's closed as far as I'm concerned. If I'm gonna be any help to you, I can't be worrying about my brother running off with some intergalactic skank. So is there something else you need? Mission. Is that supposed to be a joke? Like I've only heard that about 1,000,000 times in my life. Okay, I can take a hint. You don't want to hear anymore. That's just fine. Why do you gotta go putting my brother down like that? That's just mean. Besides, it wasn't his idea to leave. Yeah, Griff did right by me. Oh, yeah, I understand. We got bigger bantha to hunt, right? I just miss Griff is all. I keep thinking things might have been different, you know? No, I want to tell you. Zalbar's a great listener, but it might be nice to talk about this with someone who doesn't reply in growls and grunts. Right, sure, I understand. We got all this other stuff going on, what with the Sith and all. You're busy. No problem. Maybe later we can talk. When you have more time, you know? I'm not really in the mood to talk about my brother right now. Maybe we should just stay focused on the job at hand, you know? So, is there anything else you need?
Mission, is that you? It's me, Lena, remember? I was dating your brother back on Terrace.
Lena? What are you doing here? Where's Griff?
I'm just passing through. Griff and I broke up a few months after we left Terrace together. Probably for the best. Your brother can be charming, Mission, but he's bad news.
Don't you start trashing my brother, you cantina rat. Take that back or I'll smack you so hard your head tails will pop off.
Oh, Mission, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting this way? You've got your facts a little backwards. Mission could have come with us if she wanted to. It was her choice to stay behind.
You liar! Griff told me that you didn't want his little sister tagging along. That's why he had to leave me behind.
Is that what the Hutt spawn told you? I wanted you to come with us, Mission. I even offered to pay for your ticket. Why not? I paid for everything else while I was with that freeloader. But he told me you didn't want to leave Terrace. I said we shouldn't even go then. But he said we'd come back and get you after we struck it rich on Tatooine. Just another one of his lies.
No, you're the one who's lying. Griff wouldn't... He wouldn't try to leave me behind.
Think about it. If Griff wasn't trying to ditch you, Mission, then why didn't he tell you where we were going? After we left Terrace, he told me looking after you was holding him back. Griff's always looking to blame other people for his own problems. That's why he abandoned you. He did the same thing to me, too. As soon as I ran out of money, he started blaming me for all of his problems, like it's my fault his get-rich-quick schemes never work out. You damn well know it. He's nothing but a sleazy scam artist. If Mission knew it was good for her, she'd forget he ever existed. Hey, if you want to talk to Griff, go ahead. Last I heard he was going to make a fortune working the Zerka Corp mines on Tatooine. But as far as I'm concerned, he's out of my life forever.
Griff's better off without you anyway, you table-dancing, brother-stealing home wrecker.
I guess that's my cue to leave then. I didn't mean to upset you, Mission. But one day you'll see I'm right about your brother. I only hope it's not too late by then. Still on Tatooine as far as I know. Not that I really care anymore. And if Mission was smart, she'd forget about that no-good con artist.
But Griff is my brother. I just can't pretend he doesn't exist. If he was here to defend himself, Lena wouldn't be saying all this bad stuff about him. I'm sorry for the way I acted before. It's just that when it comes to Lena, I tend to get a little worked up. My brother and me had a good thing going. Sure, Griff had his run-ins with the law on Terrace, but we got by okay, until Lena came and ruined everything. She was a dancer at the cantina where my brother used to go play Pazic. Griff could be a real smooth talker, and it wasn't long before the two of them were dating. But Lena was used to dating rich Teresian nobles, guys with mountains of credits. Griff could never give her the lifestyle she was used to, no matter how hard he worked. I'm not going to pretend Griff wasn't a hustler and a con artist, but that doesn't mean you can just insult him. He did what he did to look out for me. I thought Lena would brush Griff off when she saw how poor he was, but for some reason, she stuck around. I guess she saw the potential for a big payday down the road. I saw Lena for what she really was, a busty, credit-grubbing cantina rat. She used Griff and took away the only family I had. After they'd been together for a few months, Griff told me he was leaving Terrace. He and Lena were going to try and make their fortune off-world. He promised as soon as he made enough credits he'd come back and get me, and we'd all live like royalty. That was 2 years ago. I haven't seen him since. I don't even know where he went. Oh, I know what happened. As soon as she got him off Terrace, Lena sunk her claws into Griff but good. She twisted him around her little finger and made him forget all about me. I know I'll probably never see Griff again. But part of the reason I came with you was the hope that I could find out what happened to my brother. Don't worry. I won't let the search for Griff get in the way of what we're doing. Let's just get back to the task at hand. Is there anything else I can help you with? Don't tell me you believe Lena's lies. Griff might be working as a miner on Tatooine, but the rest of her story is bantha poodoo. You can't trust someone like her. At least Griff's free of her clutches. I'd like to go speak to the Zerka Corp rep on Tatooine if we have time. Maybe I can arrange to see my brother again. I just hope he's not in any kind of trouble when we do. Sure, I understand. Saving the galaxy and all. All I'm saying is, if we get time to make a quick side trip to Tatooine, look, just think about it, okay? I've been thinking about Lena and what she said about Griff. You know, how he was always blaming other people for his problems? There might be something to what she said. No, of course not. Not really. But what if it was his idea to leave me behind? I'm not saying Griff would just abandon me, but maybe he did want to leave me behind. Just temporarily, you know? He might have done that if he planned on coming back later, but things don't usually work out for Griff the way he planned, you know? And that's when he'd get in trouble. He was always borrowing money he could never pay back. He might have been trying to skip out on his debts when he left Terrace. He would have to leave his little sister behind so it would look like he was coming back. Yeah, well, no, not exactly. Look, all I'm trying to say is that the more I think back, the more I realize I might be idolizing my brother a bit, not seeing all his faults. I still want to find him. I need to see him again. It's just that I'm not sure how I'll react when I do. Maybe. We'll see. I don't want to judge him yet. Maybe Lena was lying. Or maybe she wasn't. All I know is I'd like to speak to Griff myself. If we have time, I'd like to go talk to the Zerka Corp rep on Tatooine and see what he has to say about where my brother is now. Talk? What is there to talk about? Those sand people took my brother prisoner. Griff may be a slime, but we have to go rescue him. We can't just leave him with those monsters. I knew I could count on you. There's definite fringe benefits to being friends with a Jedi. You heard the Zerka rep. The sand people sometimes take prisoners. Say what you want about Griff, but he's a survivor. I know he's still alive. I know you're out to save the galaxy and all, but you can't just turn your back on someone who needs your help. You're a Jedi, not a Sith. I can't make you go after my brother, but you're the only one who can save him. Just think about it. That's all I ask. In the end, I know you'll do the right thing.
Translation. He says that by his very presence, this Griff defiles their home and land. He is without any semblance of usefulness to them.
Yep, that would be Griff.
Extrapolation. I would assume we are free to take him. It is doubtful they will even waste the effort to kill him. Perhaps we could do it, Master.
You there. I'm a high-ranking executive at the Zerka Corporation. There's a big reward if you take me back to Anchorhead.
Griff, don't you recognize me? It's Mission.
Mission? Is it really you? I heard Taurus was destroyed. I thought you were dead. Oh, joy of joys, my little sister is alive.
I have to ask you something, Griff. It's important. I ran into Lena. She said it was your idea to leave me on Terrace. It isn't true, is it?
Oh, well, there's the truth and then there's the truth, you know. I always meant to go back to Taurus's just as soon as I had the credits to pay off my debts. But credits have been hard to come by.
You mean it's true? It was your idea to leave me there? I'm your sister. How could you abandon me like that?
Come on, sis. You didn't need me to look after you anymore. You may have been young, but you knew how to take care of yourself. Besides, you're here now. I mean, everything worked out fine. Well, I wanted to thank you. And, you look like you're doing well. Financially, I mean. Say, could you spare me a few credits to get back on my feet?
You're hitting me up for credits. I don't believe this. Lena was right about you, Griff. We should have just left you to the Sand People. Don't talk to me anymore. Ever.
That didn't go well. Sis was always a little too fiery for her own good. She'll cool down in time. She'll be okay. We had our fights before. Too bad, though. I really could have used a helping hand right now. You may have saved my life, but I don't have a single credit to my name. Say, you wouldn't be able to spare me some credits, just till I get back on my feet, you know? That's it, huh? Figured you'd be able to spare a bit more than that. I'll take whatever I can get. Don't worry about me. I've already got a job waiting for me. Krita, the manager over at the Zerka supply shop, said I could come work for him if I ever get tired of the mines. Yeah, I think I'll go take him up on his offer. Maybe there's something else you can help me with. I need to talk to a guy first and set up the details, but if you're interested in a job, come see me in Greta's shop. Goodbye, Mission. I'm glad you're not dead. Well, Dad, and, could you please get me out of here? You got a tough-looking friend there. So, you're here to save me, right? I'm sure you'll get a huge reward. Yes, indeed. Mission always said some people would pay to find me.
Yeah, you can find your way from there, right? Can you manage that? What? Is there something else? We'd be risking everything just to get you out. That doesn't bother you?
You can't abandon me here. These Sand People, they're animals. What? We've only just met and everything is about you? What about me? Mission wouldn't want me trapped here waiting for Sand People to kill me.
And you better appreciate it.
You know I do, Mission. You know I do. Honest this time. Yeah, you do that. Mission would appreciate it. I know it. She loves me like a brother, I guess.
Yeah, you can just stay here.
Hey, come on now. You may as well be killing me. Get me out of here. What? No speeder escort? Okay, I should just take what I can get. I sure would like to see Mission, though. She's probably waiting for you on the ship you used to come to Tatooine, right? I think I'll go to the spaceport and see her. She'd like that. Thanks again. Oh, and don't tell Mission I'm coming. I want it to be a surprise when I show up at the spaceport. I can't wait to see the look on her face.
Hey now, I don't want him dead. Well, maybe I do, but couldn't we just let him sit here and think about things for a while?
Oh, I've been thinking about a lot of things. Honest. Come on now, let me go.
You big baby. We'll see. Maybe.
Hey, there's no call for that. If you know Mission like you say, you'll know she want me alive. I'm her dear brother. You're back. You've come to let old Griff out, right? Right? I don't want to beg, but I'm more than willing.
You can just keep waiting, Griff. We'll get you out of there when it suits us.
We used to be so close, sis. Now, I know we've had our differences, but I really need to get out of here now. No fooling.
Oh, you're such a... I'll see what I can do.
Because, I think Mission would really appreciate me being alive and not at all dead. Just the person I was hoping to see.
Save it, Griff. I'm not talking to you. I want no part of whatever you're involved in.
Okay, sis, I see you're still mad. Fair enough. I don't think you could help me with this anyway. It's more of a job for your friend here. As you may know, tack glands can be refined to a very potent powder. It's the primary ingredient in Teresian ale. That's what makes it so strong. Of course, now that Taurus is pretty much wiped from the face of the map, Teresian ale has become somewhat scarce and very, very valuable. Luckily, I know the secret recipe. I know this guy. He's with the Exchange. Now, if I give him a small sample of Teresian ale, he says he can synthesize it and reproduce it in mass quantities. Problem is, I need one of those tack glands to make the first batch, and now that Taurus is a smoking ruin, the only place to find tack is on Kashyyyk. If you can get your hands on one of those tack glands, I'll make it worth your while.
Griff, are you blind? Can't you see you're talking to a Jedi? We're out here trying to save the galaxy. We can't waste time on this.
Please, you have to help me. I promised this guy from the exchange a sample of Teresian ale. If I don't come through for him, he's gonna break my legs. Or worse. Yeah, I knew you'd come through for me. You won't regret this. You'll see. Just don't take too long, okay? This guy from the exchange could stop by any day. I kind of told him I already had the stuff, so if he shows up and I'm empty-handed, well, let's just say I really, really hope it doesn't come to that. Come on, Mission. I'm your brother. I'm family. You can't turn your back on me.
Forget it, Griff. I'm not falling for that line again. You'll have to find your own way out of this mess.
You bring me a single tack gland, and you not only save my life, but you get a piece of this great business opportunity. I mean, you can't pass this up. Think about it, and you'll see I'm right. Come on. I'm Mission's brother. I'm her family. I mean, think what she'll do if you just let the exchange kill me. Besides, this is a sweet deal. Sorry, like I said before, I don't have any credits on me, and Greta won't let me any. I mean, it's like he doesn't trust me to pay him back or something. But you come through on this, and I promise you'll get a huge payday down the road. 3,000 credits. How's that sound? Mission didn't come with you, I see. Oh, guess she's still mad at me. Oh, well, it's probably for the best. This job is more up your alley anyway. You're back. I knew you'd come through for me. I knew I could count on you. You do have a tech gland for me, right? Come to Papa, you sweet simian organ. It may not look like much, but once I turn this into a bottle of Teresian ale, it'll end up being worth a fortune. Thanks, Mission. You won't regret helping me out with this.
This wasn't my idea, Griff. If it was up to me, I'd let the exchange deal with you.
Gee, sis, that's pretty harsh. Come on, I know things haven't been great between us, but when I corner the market on Teresian ale, I'll make things up to you.
Forget it, Griff. Don't you understand? It's too late. You're dead to me now. I don't want any more to do with you, ever.
Okay, that's the way you want it. But when I'm rich, you're gonna regret saying that.
Please, Griff, let this be the last time. No more cons, no more scams, no more schemes. That's all I ask.
Hey, sis, no need to worry about that. I've turned over a new leaf. From now on, I'm gonna stay out of trouble and do things right. And once we've cornered the market on Teresian ale, good things will be heading my way. Then I'll make it up to your Mission. Just wait, you'll see. You know, once we synthesize this and start brewing Teresian ale in mass quantities, we're going to be looking for some investors. You give me a couple of 100 credits, and I can get you in on the ground floor. You'll get a return of, at least 20 times your investment. Hey, don't worry, you'll get your credits as soon as we start mass producing that Teresian ale. I just wanted to know if you were interested in an even bigger payoff. Wise move. I can see you really understand how business works. Now, when you see your chance, you jump at it, huh? That's my motto. I better get started on brewing that ale. Meet me back here later, and I'll have a down payment on what I owe you. You don't know much about business, do you? When an opportunity like this comes along, you have to jump at it. Come on, what do you say? It's your loss. I better get started brewing that ale. Meet me back here later, and I'll give you a down payment on what I owe you. Whoa! No need to get violent. I can take a hint. I was just trying to do you a favor, but I see you're not interested.
Griff? There's no Griff here. Never heard of him. No, I don't remember a single Griff on the Zerka Corporation payroll. Oh, you mean that Twi'lek? Must have slipped my mind for a second. Yes, of course I remember Griff. We hired that Twi'lek some time ago. Not a good worker, according to his crew chief. Always complaining and faking injuries to get out of work. He entered false timesheets and slept through his shifts. We even suspected him of stealing Zerka Corporation supplies, although we could never prove it. We would have fired him, but we needed workers. It would have been better for him if he had been fired. Then the Sand People wouldn't have gotten him. He was lost in a Sand People raid we suffered not too long ago. There were prisoners taken, but our rescue parties never found anyone alive. In the end, it just wasn't cost-effective to keep searching. All miners sign a waiver absolving Zerka Corporation of liability in these circumstances. Zerka Corporation cares deeply for all of its employees. That's why we've started a bounty program to thin the Sand People numbers. We didn't find his body, so we have to assume he was taken prisoner. Whether he's still alive, I couldn't say. That's all I can tell you. I shouldn't even have said this much. This is all privileged corporate information. I could lose my job. As I said, all employees have signed waivers absolving Zerka Corporation of any financial liability if this occurs. It is the industry standard. I suppose you could apply for special dispensation from the Zerka Corporation representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours only, please.
I don't like the sound of this. Damn it, Griff. Won't you ever learn? How can my own flesh and blood be so stupid? Look, I'm happy Griff's alive, but I'm mad at him right now. And I don't know what kind of job he's got for you, but I don't trust him. It's probably just another scam. I'm worried about Griff and his latest plan. I got a bad feeling about it. He doesn't know anything about brewing Teresian ale, and now he's got himself mixed up with the exchange. Sometimes Griff can be so stupid. Part of me just wants to let him get what's coming to him. Why not? He turned his back on me. He abandoned me on Terrace, so maybe I should just leave him high and dry now. Maybe a couple broken kneecaps will do him some good. Maybe that's just the kind of jolt he needs to turn his life around. Only, what if they do something worse? They might kill him. I don't want him to die. He doesn't deserve that. But I just can't keep supporting his crazy schemes. Someone has to teach him a lesson. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm not going to change him. Griff is going to keep on being Griff. Maybe if we get these tat glands for him, things will work out. Or maybe he'll finally see the light and turn over a new leaf. I know it's not likely, but it's all I have to hope for. You're right. Griff may be my brother, but he deserted me on Terrace. As far as I'm concerned, that pretty much breaks any bond we had. I'm not going to worry about Griff anymore. Like you said, he brought this on himself. Besides, he always treated me like garbage. Now it's payback time. Hey, if you want to help him with this Teresian ale scheme, that's your business. I'm washing my hands of the whole thing. I appreciate everything you've done for Griff. You know that, right? I just hope things work out for him this time around. I guess we'll find out when he meets up with us at the Zerka Corp shop. If he's got those credits he promised you, then maybe there's hope for him yet. I want to thank you for helping me with Griff. You did everything you could for my brother. More than most people would have. I know it might look like it didn't make any difference in the end. Griff's in debt and on the run like usual. But at least I know we tried to help him. I know people can change no matter how bad they were, but I'm not holding my breath. None of us is perfect, but I've come to realize that Griff is a little less perfect than most. Can't say I blame you, but I'll be honest. I doubt you'll ever see Griff again. I don't even know if I'll ever see him again. Like all good con men, he knows how to disappear. My brother is what he is, but I've learned to deal with that. I'll never forget that he looked after me when I was just a kid, but I don't feel like I owe him anything anymore. I've made my peace with Griff and what he means to me. If he ever shows up again, I'll deal with him. But I'm not going to dwell on my brother anymore. It's time to move forward. Hey, Big Z, we gotta do something about your breath. I didn't want to say anything, but it's bad. Worse than usual, which is hard to believe. In fact, now that I think about it, your breath has been pretty rancid ever since we rescued you from those Gamorrean slavers. What'd they feed you, buddy? Oh, Zalbar, that's terrible. I know how grouchy you get if you don't get your 8 square meals a day. I'm amazed you didn't pass out from hunger. Ew! No wonder your breath is so bad, Big Z. Gamorreans smell like bantha poodoo. We'll have to pick you up a toothbrush to clean that stench out of your choppers. Okay, relax. No toothbrush. Sheesh. Just try and eat something else to cover up that smell, okay? Stay away from anything that's smart enough to lock you in a cage this time. Hey, Big Z, don't take this the wrong way, but lately I've noticed you're starting to look a little bit scruffy. No, I'm not suggesting a bath. I know how well that went over last time. But your hair's getting all tangled, and if you look close, you can see a few gray strands starting to poke through. Don't worry, Big Z. It's nothing I can't fix. A little trim, a splash of coloring, and you'll be as good as new. Best-looking Wookiee on the planet. Maybe a nice suit. I know, Wookiees aren't into the whole clothing thing, but you could start a whole new trend. You'd be on the cutting edge. Okay, sheesh. Try to offer some constructive criticism, and this is the thanks I get? Let's move on. You can just stay naked and scruffy for all I care. Okay, have it your way. Oh, heck, I don't know. Are you sure you want to ask me about that? Well, that was easy. I sure wish I had special mind-affecting force powers. I can be pretty convincing when I have to be. But that mind trick is something else. Hey, why'd you have to do that? That was just mean. You know what? Sometimes you're nothing but a bully. I know you're supposed to save the galaxy and all, but could you try being less of a scummy core slime while you're doing it? Wow. Sometimes helping people feels pretty good, you know? Hey, why are you being so mean to this little guy? What did he ever do to you? Gee, that doesn't sound suspicious at all. Warehouse workers have a bad habit of paying off their debts with other people's property, you know? Aw, geez. I hope this doesn't take too long. Gamorreans like to throw insults around, but they just don't have the smarts for it. Aw, geez. I hope this doesn't take too long. Gamorreans like to throw insults around, but they just don't have the smarts for it. Nobody here can compare with the racers you rode against on Terrace. You'll wipe every record from the books of this backwater track. That isn't fair. On Terrace, you had to give a cut to the swoop gang sponsoring you, but at least the rider got the higher share of the winnings. That promoter is going to bleed that poor kid dry. But I guess he's got to learn. The only way to get by in this life is to look out for yourself.
Translation. He says we may enter only if we have the items the chieftain asked for. He doesn't appear open to bargaining. Translation. Translation. It has had the expected effect. I hope you are ready for battle.
You're gonna turn on this guy now? This is low, even for you. Hey, it's one of those star maps, ain't it? Kinda weird finding it in the back of a crate dragon's lair, don't you think? Say, now that we've got the star map, do you think we can leave this planet soon? I've got sand everywhere.
What's to tell? They're big, powerful, difficult, and worth the most when caged and shipped off this forest-covered rock.
That's horrible. You wouldn't talk like that if Big Z was here.
I don't concern myself with what goes on past this landing port. The Wookiees are very difficult to deal with. No business sense.
You mean they don't tolerate cheats?
I know, it's standard trading rules. I just want to know where my crew went. I was only gone for 2 days. This isn't like them.
Yes, very sad that they would abandon you, especially while you were doing me a favor and helping repair one of my freighters.
Something about this whole situation stinks worse than an overcrowded Ronto stable. What kind of friends would just abandon a crewmate? Zalbar should be here. He shouldn't miss this. He needs to know he can come back here. I can't talk for Big Z, but believe me, he should be with us. He's got unfinished business here. I'm not saying that I know better than you, but this is Zalbar's home. Don't you think he knows some things? Besides, he's got things here he needs to take care of. Big Z once told me he had seen paradise destroyed by the greed of outsiders. I never understood what he meant until now. I'm glad Big Z isn't here to see this. I don't know if he could handle it. I never thought I'd see the big trees. Zalbar's stories didn't do it justice. This is incredible. I wish he was here to see this. He'd want to see this, you know? It isn't an easy language to learn, what with all the growls and howls. Big Z told me the whole point was to make it difficult for outsiders to understand. Big Z says honor was everything to his people. I guess he's right. How awful. Big Z always said how important honor was to his people. It's everything. I guess he did toss you out on your ear, Big Z. What kind of father is that? You can't do that! He can't do that, can he? He can't hold Zalbar prisoner just because he's chieftain, can he? Don't worry, buddy. We'll get you out of here. You can count on us. Big Z, what are you doing here? What's going on? Look, Big Z may owe you a life debt, but you gotta cut him some slack. Careful. I've seen Zalbar get this mad too. There's no persuading him when it happens. It's kinda nice to meet a Jedi who isn't all hung up on this light side, dark side stuff. Gets pretty tiring, you know?
Very good. If you had moved to evacuate the city, you would have alerted the enemy to their lost codes. Ultimate victory required the deaths of the people in that city. You wisely ignored sentiment in your decision.
I can't believe you just let up.
The temperament of a companion is unreliable at best. You wisely trade the threat of 1 year or 5 for none or 2.
Come on, you know you could trust Big Z. He'd never turn on you. Hold on a second. Zalbar and Shundar are brothers? And you're their father? Wait a minute. Does that mean Big Z is some kind of prince or something? Exiled. Big Z never told me that. Of course, he never said he was royalty either. Doesn't seem like much of a father anyway. Zalbar was hurt bad by whatever happened here. Doesn't seem like much of a father anyway. Kicking his son out like that. Why would anyone hide a star map here in the Shadowlands? No one's ever gonna see it, so what's the point? I guess it's possible the star map could have been built before the trees popped up. It's just hard to imagine Kashyyyk with no forests, you know? Hey, this place is starting to give me the creeps. We've got the star map. Let's just get out of here, okay?
The task paid well, but was boring, and beneath me. I was told to lure the Selkath youth to the Sith embassy. Nothing more. I lied, I threatened, I promised, and I brought the most promising youth of the fish people to the Sith.
So you tricked these innocents into going to the Sith base. And then what did you do with them?
And there I left them. To what purpose I neither know nor care. Perhaps when the Sith learn I have betrayed their secret, they will try to kill me. I would welcome the excitement.
I bet they're twisting the minds of those Selkath youth, trying to trick them into joining the Sith.
The Harakert Rift is a source of Kolto? Why would the Republic risk so much to send troops there? I don't get it.
I don't know if I like this. Aren't the Republic supposed to be the good guys? Well, that didn't go well. If I'm ever on trial, remind me not to ask you for help. Looks like Manan isn't much different than Taurus. Justice is up for grabs to the highest bidder.
Greetings. You've heard of that awful business on Idian, yes? Our corporate outpost there has been destroyed by the Wookiee savages. This could put back the use of Wookiee labor considerably. We may even have to abandon the planet completely.
Yeah, I sure bet the Wookiees would hate to see you go.
Well, certainly. Now they are doomed to remain savages forever, or possibly become extinct. Very sad. Now then, was there something you needed? Not much. The Sith are a rather secretive lot, and they don't allow many into the Academy. I hear they claim that Korriban was inhabited long ago by other Sith.
That would explain why this place is so creepy. This whole planet makes my head tails twitch.
Ah, I've seen this little ship before plenty of times. Used to make runs for the Exchange, didn't it? Korriban's nice and remote. The kind of place the Exchange likes.
I knew we'd run into some of Davik's old associates sooner or later. No matter where you go, somebody's working for the Exchange. Wherever you find the Sith, Zerka isn't far away. Like granite slugs on a sky tower.
Hey, what's this? Looks like we found ourselves a bit of sport, my friends.
Ever notice how the Sith always act tough when they're in groups? Nothing but scum, if you ask me. Wow, I never figured to see a star map in one of these moldy old tombs. Look, we've got what we came for. Can we go now? This place gives me the creeps.
Well, if we're gonna pick someone to save our skins, we better do it quick. In another minute, we're gonna have Sith troops marching up our loading ramp.
Maybe I can goad the guards into making a mistake. If I get them mad enough, they might put me in a separate cell to punish me. With them focusing so much on you three, I might be able to sneak out of my cell and come rescue the rest of you. It's a risk we have to take, Big Z. I can slice my way free of any security cell. Don't worry. I can pull this off. The decision is yours. You're in charge. But I know I can do this if you give me a chance. I won't let you down. You'll see.
Bastila, Karth, and the crew have been taken prisoner as you ordered, Commander. Excellent. Have you searched the ship thoroughly? Admiral Karth warned me to be on alert for any kind of treachery. We found a young Twi'lek in the back. She's got quite the mouth on her. She swore at me and spit on my uniform. She tried to bite me through my armor, and you should hear what she said about my mother. Admiral Karth needs to teach her the proper respect for the Sith. The Admiral doesn't have time to bother with some Twi'lek girl. Take her away to solitary confinement. I'll leave it up to you to teach her the proper respect for the Sith. Come on, girlie. Into the cell. Let's go. I haven't got all day to waste on you. I need to get back to my post.
Quit crowding me. Sheesh. I've met Gamorreans who didn't smell as bad as you Sith.
You think you're pretty funny, don't you? But you're only making things worse for yourself.
How come every time you open your mouth to talk, the scent of rancor dung comes out?
Maybe a little time in solitary confinement will teach you the proper respect for the Sith. Now get into that cell.
Who designed those Sith uniforms anyway? A blind Rhodian with a sick sense of humor?
Oh, that's funny. You should tell that one to the torturer when he comes to deal with you.
What? You're going to torture me?
No snappy comeback this time. The thought of torture scares you, Well, it should. The Sith have ways to inflict pain you can't even imagine. It may be a few hours before your torture begins. We're busy interrogating your friends right now. Hey, I know. You could use this time to think up witty ways to beg for mercy.
Or I could use the key card I lifted from your pocket to slice into the security panel and get myself out of this cell. Piece of cake. I wonder when people will stop underestimating me. Revan? What are you talking about? Is this some kind of a joke?
No, it's no joke. The Jedi Council captured Revan and erased the Dark Lord's mind, programming in a new identity. Saul Karath told me on the Leviathan, and Bastila confirmed it.
You're Darth Revan? This is big. Do you remember anything about being the Dark Lord? Just a few flashes. That's it. Nothing more? Then I don't think there's a problem. It seems to me that if you don't really remember anything about being Revan, then it doesn't really matter anymore. You are who you are now, right?
Was the woman we knew Revan, or someone else? Will you change into Revan? How can any of us trust you?
Well, I trust you. I know you, and you're not Revan anymore. Whatever you used to be, you're one of us now. Hey, you've got nothing to be sorry about. You didn't ask for this. Besides, I know you. You're not Revan anymore. Whatever you used to be, you're one of us now. I don't see the Sith Lord standing here. I see a friend who's been with us through thick and thin. Remember, Malik's the one who tried to destroy Terrace. Big Z and I will stick by you. We owe you our lives. We won't desert you now. I knew the little guy would come through for you. Droids don't hold grudges. Whew! Talk about your rough landings, Karth. What's the matter? You're flying like you've been on an all-night Teresian ale drinking binge.
We can probably find the wreckage of a downed ship along the way. And if we're lucky, we can salvage some stabilizers from it to get off this planet.
I hope everything works out as smooth as you make it sound, Karth.
Well, so do I, Mission. So do I.
Whoa! Can you actually understand what these guys are saying? I guess you must have come back here when you were revving, huh? T3's picking up massive power fluctuations on the ship's sensors. They seem to be coming from some type of large stone structure to the east. It looks like some kind of ancient temple.
I love you. I can't wait until all this is over with.
Hey, sheesh, get a room, will ya? Oh, sure. Even a good omen can get itself a room, though, don't you think?
Right, sorry. I can't remember the last time I felt this happy. I can't wait until the Starforge is destroyed.
You make that sound so easy. Just fly over and boom, one less Starforge in the universe.
I feel more confident now than I ever did before. The Force is with us, Mission.
The Republic is doomed. Revan has returned. Who will now swear loyalty to the second coming of the Dark Lord?
I saw what the Sith did to Terrace. Anyone who serves the dark side is evil. Big Z and I are with Karth on this one. Zalbar, Revan's a Sith, just like Malik. It's not betrayal if you break your life debt now. No, Zalbar, I don't care. I won't help the Sith against the Republic. Not for anything. Not even for you. No, this isn't happening. It can't be happening. No, I'm not just gonna stand aside and do nothing. You'll just have to kill me. But I don't think you will. I don't believe you've gone over to the dark side. Not totally. I don't think you'll kill me. Not if I don't attack you first. No! I won't let this happen. Looks like you'll have to do your own dirty work, Revan. If you've got the guts. Zalbar, what are you saying? Revan can't force you to do anything you don't want to. It's me, Big Z, Mission. Please, Zalbar, don't do this. Please.